How did you guys get together? How did groupDCA start? How many years back do you go back? And how's this relationship been for both of you?
Well, we both joined architecture school. We both joined SPA in 1988, and as the fate would have it, we both walked in next to each other into school.
First day of school.
All right.
Right next to each other, and then typical as the scene was that day, the seniors sitting there called us intros, ragging, whatever you may call it. They were having
So
fun at
they
our
called like
expense.
this.
दो थे तो दो आ जाना.
And so we formed a good relationship. We found a good equation. Those 5 years of SPA, we did. We were both day scholars, and so hostel had its own ecosystem and support structure and this and that. But when you're working from home and and you're doing all nighters and you need just something to discuss, something moral support, physical support, anything and all that jazz. So we both used to land up at each other's place, even for individual projects, and of course all group projects we just happen to be in the same group. So and then once we graduated,
once we graduated, there was always a little path, which you wanted to carve out for yourself. Because these were college days, academic days. And as in architecture, we all know a lot of the submissions are group submissions, because where you compliment or kind of criticize each other's work and come out with the final submission. So after we graduated, we both had to do internships separately. And there was a patch, I think, for a year or two.
So we graduated in 93.
So I think till 95.
And
we were on our own, but we were always in connect.
Right.
I went to Singapore. I did around 2 years of working with RSP over there. Amit was in Delhi. He was working with the...
we did some training here, worked with Arco for a year, started doing my own things here. And then he came back, and in 96, we formally launched the firm.
Correct.
DCA.
Circle back.
So I think 1st April 96 is when we officially started. And it's been an eventful journey since then.
So this is 3 years out of graduation, right? You decided to start.
Almost, yeah.
And in initial years, how hard or easy was it to get work? And
as I said, we had started doing some teeny mini things while in college.
Right.
And even after that. And I had sort of, when Rahul was in Singapore, I had started doing some small independent commissions. So it was a gradual, slow, easy into it. And by the time when we launched, we actually had a couple of nice, interesting projects for that time and age in our portfolio. And when we formally started, it was like, again, so, it was hard work. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of passion, a lot of, if I may say, right timing, getting good introductions to clients and a thing. But we never really faced a struggle or a tough time per se, as people want to, romanticize your thing. We worked hard.
I think the struggle was only that we had to work hard. It was not easy. In the sense, a lot of effort, extra effort had to go in. Because at that time, the exposure and understanding of design in architecture or interior design was not as much as it is today. So to be able to push your point across, do a good design, convince the client, at the same time understand his budget, there's a lot of involvement and hard work which went into it. I think that eventually always reflected in the final product. And one thing I'm very sure the final product, they loved it, but they loved working with us. I think that is what the client is always looking for, even now, that they want to enjoy working with you. So they always found that we're always available and we're sensitive and we're good at our work and we're hardworking and all that. I think that helped a lot.
And we give them the right advice. So, you'll be surprised, but some of our clients actually go back to that time.
Yes, we still have them as our captive clients even now.
Wow. How did the relationship between the two of you work out? Like over the years, right? Nearly 20 years now.
Much more.
96.
Sorry,
nearly 30 years. Sorry.
28, yeah.
Sorry, 28.
Sorry, of this,
30
and
years.
then 8 years before that.
Yeah. So, how did that work out? Because what your team tells me that both of you are personality very different. A little bit background check we got a little bit done.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah.
We are
actually you're right.
And that's probably how we complemented each other. Had the respect for each other, and the most important thing, like in any other relationship, is trust. So that trust is the most paramount thing. And deep down, however different we may be, there are certain basic core values where we converge. Uh, but throw us even a small decision, and we both will argue like cat and mouse, and we continue to do that till day. But then after a while, they say, "Acha, tu dekh le, tu dekh le." Either way, like one of the guys take a call, the other guy takes a back seat, and we just go ahead and do it.
But I think at the same time, we also end up taking each other's opinion, and whether it's right or wrong is your viewpoint. But there's always a dialogue also which happens, between both of us. Many times, if I'm making it, I'm stuck somewhere, I'll go and take his opinion, and so that also happens. But the approach towards design and all is quite interesting.
Different and similar. As I said, the core values are similar.
So let's talk about the core values.
Manifestations are very different at times, and that's why I say there's no right or wrong in design.
Right.
So values should be correct.
Yeah.
Solutions may differ. That's fine.
So
the process can be different also, but
process
can be different, but the end goal and the values, they stay intact. That is something which is sacrosanct for us.
What are some of the core values that you both? I mean, what are the core values? If you would like to share that.
Okay, so one is integrity of design. You don't do anything which is gimmicky or flashy or whether it's trendy. It's good. As I said, we don't design for Pinterest or Instagrammable photographs. We design for places to be enjoyed and lived in. And we always true to that design, true to the spirit of that space, what the space needs, the context, the needs of the client, and space that they should enjoy for a long, long time to come, rather than get bored of it and want to change it. And
timeless.
It should be timeless. It should be connected with nature, connected with our heritage, and has to be contemporary, modern, has to cater for future.
Right.
But if it's rooted in our heritage and our culture and our history, it automatically sort of becomes, the values when they come into any space, the space becomes timeless. If it's without values, it's like...
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
If it doesn't connect with nature, if it doesn't connect with sun, wind, trees, human spirits, your culture, you will get bored of it very fast.
I think also very important I'd like to add here is that one of the core values which we really treasure is that we understand the project and we understand where the client is coming from. What is his family structure? What is his background? What is his culture? And that has to, if you're able to understand that and weave it into the design solution, he'll be most comfortable. And that is what makes it timeless. And he remembers you for it. And that he realizes when the project is handed over and he's using it, whether it's a house or a showroom or an office, and he uses it, then he realizes कि हमने क्यों किया था. And जब किया होता है, then when they use it, they realize perfect है. Because I think that's a very, very deep understanding of the client's background. Because in India, India is such a big country. Clients all over the country, different backgrounds, different religions, different family structure, different culture, different food.
Yeah.
Everything is different. So that keeps varying a lot. In fact, that's what keeps making the job profile interesting also.
Every individual is unique.
Yeah. You keep reinventing yourself.
So every project has to be unique.
But
every solution has to be unique.
Both of you love history, right?
History and heritage.
In a different way.
In a different way?
Very different way.
But clearly there is a common connect there. And how are you both at work? How would you describe each other at work? Who's the workaholic? Is there a balance? Are you both workaholics, or who's the more fun guy?
No, so we love to party, both of us.
Right.
We both have a lot of fun in life. And there is no boundary for us where we say, when do you stop working? We never stop working. Mind is always working. And I don't need to, I'm not working in a factory, or we are not working in a field where there's a specific Ana to be like, doing this particular task to be working. Your mind is always working, and our minds are always working. I don't need to be interacting with somebody. I think my mind is, both of us.
That's quite well put, actually, because, even if you're at home, not at work, but your mind is working. You're thinking of something. You're writing
I think
something
that's
down.
true for all entrepreneurs.
Yeah, so it's just.
I mean, it's
I think
like,
it's just
no,
that balance,
so is it certain
get the mix
people-
right, and that's it.
So that's human nature, right? And
But-
why should it not be? And why should I draw that line? And why should I say, okay, there are things that, okay, I can't have a meeting on a Sunday, and we typically would not do a meeting on a Sunday.
Right.
But if I'm sitting doing something, entertaining myself, and I get an idea, I'll sketch it out. Why should I? No, I'll sketch on Monday. I'll not sketch on Sunday.
No. I completely get what you're saying, because as owners of your own business, I think as an entrepreneur, if you're always tuned in.
No, it's not.
I don't think it's
not
only
the
about
owner
owners of the business.
It's
No,
to
no,
Or it's
just
passion?
to do.
No,
yeah.
it's just as an individual, the passion, or the mind has to keep working. You can't switch off and switch on. So even if you're not the owner or the entrepreneur of the business, it's not a bad idea to work like that.
What I
But you have
used-
to control. It
Yeah.
can't
No, it can't
go overboard.
consume.
So that's exactly the point, that you have to strike the right balance.
So always keep having fun. Keep having fun at work. Why should work be all serious and fun? Why separate the two?
Something I spoke to your team, by the way, offline before you guys came in, and
Okay.
then one thing they told me was that they have a lot of fun working with both of you, and it's that there is a little bit. I won't get into depth. That there is one of you who's a little bit of a hard taskmaster than the other, but the team is very clear that either way they have a really good time working with both of you.
The hard task mouse also keeps switching.
ये थोड़ा सा बताइए.
No, it keeps switching. The team feedback. There are phases when they'll say, I am a tough one, he is the fun one, and then a few months later it becomes the reverse. Or somebody's experience is different. We both are fun and we both are hard taskmasters. It goes hand in hand.
So this office space that you have here,
Yep.
this is very beautifully
Thank you.
designed. When did you shift in here?
Exactly, almost a year.
Yeah, just a little
Yeah.
more than a year.
And what's been the inspiration behind the design of this
I
place?
think this is a culmination of what we have been preaching and practicing for so long. Where a work environment can be and should be like this, where you have natural light, ventilation. Today morning only I was sitting in my cabin and I could see on the edge of the roof there were 4 monkeys sitting. I think मुझे 10-15 minutes तो मैं उनकी photos ले रहा था, and I saw how they were having fun and all that. It was very interesting. So I think what we've been trying to propagate and sensitive about is this nature blending into workspaces, light, ventilation, airy, greenery. So that is something which we've been able to do here.
So this is
finally.
our 5th studio.
Yeah, it's the 5th studio.
But all our studios have been like that in different ways.
Okay.
And different
Right
scale
from,
also.
We have been in a multi-storied building. Multi-story, our old building, but a 4-storied office. But there also we were very connected with nature. To the earlier office, which was in a factory shed. But again, it was like a
Well lit.
dream. To
Well
work
lit,
in.
lot of greenery inside.
No lights being used throughout the year. Very low on air conditioning systems and all that jazz. And to this, of course, this is a brilliant opportunity where we have so many trees and everything. And then the whole thing evolved around the trees. And so in the earlier office also, we used to, you had one bougainvillea which has been transplanted here. And a sunbird used to nest there every season. And then we had a lot of other trees that we planted as small things which grew up to be 20 feet tall and all that jazz, the 10 years that we were there. And so many birds used to nest there.
Right.
We used to attract a little bit of, as I said, nature in terms of birds and bees there. But coming here, we get peacocks, we get monkeys, we get a lot of birds.
Oh, a lot of different birds, yeah.
It is
That's right.
amazing.
I was telling my team
And all day we keep watching squirrels play.
I was telling my team actually when I walked in, and I was like, if I had a workspace like this, I would never work. I would just enjoy being around.
Yeah, I
but
think it's the other way around.
I think the productivity and the
love working
creativity.
in a
You
space
love working
like
in a
this.
place like
And
this.
it simply opens up your thought processes.
I've actually had Sundays where I've really nothing much to do at home, just sitting idle. And I come to the office and sit here and do some little bit of designing, and music is playing, and breeze coming in, having a coffee. So you love working here.